even if they send me 10 houses they love, I'm like, pick the 3 that you really want.
Mhm.
That's the ones we're going to go see today. Like 3 is the magic number. Like
Yeah.
good things come in threes. But I guess bad thing they say
Yeah.
celebrity deaths come in threes too. But
I'll show as many as 6 in a day, but I don't want to do much more than that.
what's up, everyone? It is the Tactical Agent Podcast. Another episode for you. This one's going to be fun. We are going to talk about, we're going to walk through Dave Ramsey's, well, I mean, it wasn't written by Dave Ramsey, but it's on his website, Signs of a Bad Real Estate Agent, 10 of them. So we're going to we have not read
I'm,
these. We're going to
yeah.
go in blind here. I just saw the article. I didn't read it. Chris hasn't seen it. We're just going to go in raw
I,
here.
I'm going. That's what she said. Hey, I'm interested in this one. This is going to be fun because like I have like a love-hate relationship with Dave Ramsey. Like there's some things he says that I really believe in, and then sometimes I'm just like, that guy's an idiot. So I can't.
Right? Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing.
People do seem to have a love-hate relationship for him for some reason. I don't find him to be. Yeah. No one financial planner is going to have every single answer, but I did
Right.
Financial Peace University years ago, and it was helpful for me, very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good stuff. All right, guys, this is the Tactical Agent Podcast. As I already said, I'm Mike. This is Chris. We are the Tactical Agents. If you want to know more about us, you can visit 107project.com, where we are on mission to help 10,000 cops, veterans, other public safety professionals, and their supporters grow their real estate businesses, change their lives, get their freedom back, enjoy what they're doing, all the good things. So find out more there. We also wrote a book called The Tactical Agents. You can check it out on Amazon if you want. And if you get to know us, we'll give it to you for free. So if you get into one of our groups, we'll give it to you for free. All right, enough of that. Let's get after this list. This is written by Rachel Cruz. Oh, there you go. Boom. It's on RamseySolutions.com. So full disclosure, that's where we're at. Okay, 10 signs of a bad real estate agent. Number 1. Oh, look at that. Communication issues. We talked about that in episode 23 of the podcast. And again, I said this is one of the number one reasons people don't like real estate agents, because they think they're bad at communication, or it's poor communication. And that's what it says. It says one of the most common issues home buyers have with a real estate agent is not being able to get in touch with them. The buyer calls, they text, they email. What do they hear back? Crickets. This isn't just something to gloss over, guys. It's a really big problem. It's super important to move quickly when you find a home you like, especially if you're in a hot housing market. That's true now. That's true right now. There's a limited supply out there.
So far, Rachel's batting 1,000.
Yeah, Rachel's got it down. So we don't need to spend much time on that one because we talked about it for an entire episode. Number 2, lack of leadership. This is interesting. She says you need an agent with a strong backbone. There are big decisions to make here, people. You need someone who will give you honest advice based on their research and experience, even when they know you may not like what they have to say. Wow. That's a good one, dude.
We have a whole chapter on that.
We do, man. Like, yeah, wild. You gotta be able. And this is why, boy, this is turning out to be an unexpected plug for our own show. Go back to episode 21 where we said, why do cops make good real estate agents? Because they know how to step in and handle a situation. Usually, not every cop is an alpha personality, but I'll tell you what, a lot of them are, and someone that can take control and do good at negotiations and tell you what you need to hear when you don't want to hear it. Like if you never had to tell someone that they're going to jail when they really don't want to go to jail, like it's nothing to tell a person, hey, you're not going to get this house because of X, Y, or Z. Like
right.
you can do it. So lack of leadership. Any further comments on that, Chris?
No, I mean, that one's pretty easy. I especially like the part where it says a wishy-washy agent who isn't willing to offer strong guidance. You see that a lot, the milquetoast guys that just don't want to say anything that would hurt their chances with this client or whatever. And it ends up hurting them in the long run because people don't respect that they can't give you a real opinion. So
yeah.
I agree with that one too. Still 1,000.
Number 3, power struggles. This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, even though you want your agent to be a strong leader, you don't want them to be so strong-willed that they forget who's the boss. Spoiler alert, that's you. You're in charge during the buying or selling process, not the agent. Someone who forgets that and pressures you to buy a home you aren't sure about or one that's out of your budget is more interested in the commission than helping you.
Yeah.
that's
That's, I mean, how many
that's
times have we
good.
said we're consultants, right? You know,
Yeah,
it's
you got to position yourself to bring the best advice. And I will always now if I'm sensing as an agent on the front end that this is not going to be a good fit, that these clients aren't going to listen to sound experience experienced advice, then
mm-hmm.
maybe they're not a good fit. But that's why we do the fit test.
Right.
But
Yeah.
otherwise, this is true. We are hired by the client to help them, and we're helping them make wise, sound, good decisions based on our experience. But they have to make the ultimate decisions. We don't make the
Yeah. Like
decisions for
you
them.
don't want blind obedience to everything you say. I mean, you know, you want to give them solid reasons for, you know, what you're saying, but the truth of the matter is they've got to make that decision themselves. And there are a lot of agents that really, really put a lot of pressure on people to buy a house. And I just don't understand that. I'm not ever going to live there. You know, I don't have to deal with all the BS they're going to have to deal with. It's their decision, not mine.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Don't think that you sell houses. I think it's a terrible way to view what real estate
Right.
is. It's not. You're not selling houses. You're not buying houses. You're helping people who are selling and buying a house.
Right.
That you're consulting the people doing that. It's not you doing it. It's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Number 4, abundance of attitude. You want your agent to have confidence in their abilities, but that doesn't give them a license to be a jerk. No matter how many questions you have or how basic they may be, your agent should be patient enough to answer every single one of them. Plus, when your agent is negotiating, they're representing you. You don't want the person who represents you to be arrogant or condescending, right? Let me make this really simple. You don't have to put up with an agent who's just plain rude.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't disagree with that, right? Like
No.
that goes to speak to like whether or not in the fit test they think that of you or that's the vibe that they're
Mm-hmm.
getting from you. You know, you don't want an abundance of attitude, that's for sure. And that goes your attitude with other agents will get you places or not get you places as well. You have the right kind of attitude where you're serving the best interests of your clients, but you're also able to communicate well. Again, goes back to communication with other agents. That can go a long way. So keeping a good attitude.
Yeah. And, you know, there's this whole thing like, you know, you want to get your client the best deal. And then it's an agent's job to not really look past who the other agent is as a person and try to get their client the best deal. Right. But agents are people too. And if you're an asshole, they don't want to work with you. So if they can find a way to not work with you and work with somebody else, they're going to take it. So you have to build relationships with other agents too. It's just as important.
100%. Not go golfing with them every twice a week at your
Right. Yeah.
board golf outing. Just don't go drinking with all the other agents and not getting clients.
Right. Yeah.
Number 5, you're getting nowhere. If it's been months since you started working with your agent and you aren't any closer to buying or selling than when you started, that's a big problem. Now, if you're being overly critical of the homes your agent is showing you and you aren't willing to budge even a little on your asking price or the features you want, then this could be your fault. But if your agent keeps showing you homes you've already said aren't right for you or your house isn't getting any offers, they're wasting your time. I would say that this is probably next to communication. Whenever
Yeah.
I've gotten clients that have had bad experiences in the past or who are leaving their buying agent because they're not getting what they want, this is what they say. They're like, he keeps showing us homes. We told him what we wanted, and he keeps taking us and showing us homes that aren't what we asked for. Like,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's an out of budget issue or whether it's just a style issue or whether it's a location issue, like it's a kind of like they're banging their head against the wall. Like this is not what we want. Why can't we go see what we want?
I really don't understand that one. With modern technology, you should never see a house that they're not at least somewhat interested in.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they have all the information right in front of them, pictures, virtual tours. Like,
Yep.
I just don't understand it. But
Yeah. I think that I also tell my clients, like, even if they send me 10 houses they love, I'm like, pick the 3 that you really want.
Hmm.
That's the ones we're gonna go see today. Like, 3 is the magic number. Like,
Yeah,
good things come in threes. I guess bad thing they say
yeah.
celebrity deaths come in threes too, but
I'll show as many as 6 in a day, but I don't want to do much more than that.
yeah, they all start to run together.
Hmm.
Number 6, I think we might be stumbling into one that I'm not necessarily in agreement with, but we'll see what she says. Number 6, limited full-time experience. This needs to be a deal breaker, you guys. Hmm. I think that I found a problem here with this, in my opinion. An agent without much experience doesn't have the industry contacts or know how they need to handle the buying or selling process. Misfiling paperwork, misunderstanding the fine print, or missing a deadline can easily mess up your home sale, and these things are more likely when you're dealing with an agent who's just getting started. Plus, you need an experienced negotiator, both for the sale price and any repairs that may come up after the home inspection. You simply can't fake experience in the real estate world. That's not true. You can only hire an agent with at least a few years of experience in your area. And by the way, it's important for that experience to be full time. Why? Well, that takes us right into the next red flag. Okay. Oh, well, man, we could take these together as a thing. Because number 7 is they do real estate as a side gig.
Hmm.
Here's the deal, everyone. You need an agent who's highly motivated to earn their commission, one whose main source of income comes from helping people buy and sell homes. If the agent is doing real estate as a side gig, that means getting deals done isn't what feeds their family. And that means the buying or selling process isn't their priority, and they won't get you the best bang for your buck. Okay, so let's take 6 and 7 together. Whew, I know you've got something to say about this, so go ahead.
Yeah. Have this just tells me that this lady has never worked with a real estate agent before, like as a real estate agent, because if she had, she would know that, most real estate agents are terrible and it doesn't matter if they're full-time or not. Sorry
Yeah,
guys, hate to tell you the truth, but
yeah,
um, the majority of agents that you deal with just seem to not know what they're doing. And it doesn't matter if they have 15 years, experience. And that's
yep,
another thing, I've worked with people who have been in the business for a year that have done 5 times as many deals as somebody that's been doing it for
yep,
10. The
yep,
experience comes from transactions. It doesn't come from years, and it's not a
yep,
matter of time. It's a matter of seeing things. Now, I do understand the mentality of saying you need somebody that's been there and done that, because that makes sense. But if you have somebody that is new and getting started, um, as long as they have somebody that is mentoring them and somebody they
mm-hmm,
can contact that has seen it and done it,
mm-hmm,
um, it's fine. It,
yeah,
it, you know, I just don't agree with that. You got to have years on the job, namely because I've seen what years on the job actually means in this business.
yeah. 87% of realtors quit, and the
Hmm.
ones that stay full time only average like 5 transactions a year.
Yeah.
So I've like I've seen agents on our team, on our
Hmm.
group, the 10-7 project. I've seen them part-time do 12 deals in a year.
Hmm.
Part-time. So like they would be disqualified even though in 1 year they did close to what it would take 3 years of the average quote unquote full-time realtor to do. The that's a real nonsensical way to approach it. I think like you said, I get the idea behind this, but yeah, as long as this new agent or part-time agent isn't some solo fly by night kind of thing where it's like, oh, I just got my license and hung it with, some lady that's in hospice at a nursing home that has a
Right.
broker's license and doesn't know who I am, and I'm just kind of doing whatever I want. Then yeah, your paperwork might not be getting checked by the right people. But in general, if they have a person to run things by,
Hmm.
otherwise, how is anybody going to ever become a full time experienced agent? This is like one of those things where like you don't have enough experience for the job. Well, how am I supposed to get experience? Like
Right. Yeah.
you gotta start somewhere. So
Hmm.
I would take 6 and 7 out of the mix here, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
on this one. So
Well, and the side gig, like there is a very small percentage of real estate agents that actually do real estate at a full-time level.
Yeah.
Very, very small.
Yeah.
Most of them just kind of dabble and they're like, oh, I'm a full-time agent because it's their only job, but they work like an hour and a half a week, you know?
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you can manage your time well and you have relationships with other agents that can help you in showings when you're not available, it is 100% possible to be effective
Mm-hmm.
doing real estate as a side hustle. We've proven that with our 10-7 project. We see it all the time.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, I cracked six figures as an agent when I was doing it part time. So I'm living proof that you don't have to put a full time effort in to get experience and to be successful. So it's very doable. Number 8 is poor marketing. Uh, okay, your agent's job is to attract as many potential customers as possible to view your home. These days, that requires a lot more than putting a sign in your yard and posting a photo on their website. In the real estate industry,
It really doesn't.
it really doesn't, though,
Yeah.
because here's why. Like, maybe there's been seasons where that would be true,
Yeah.
maybe, but the thing is now when your house goes into the MLS, it goes into the MLS. Everybody looking for homes sees the same thing. So that's not what really sets you apart. I'm not so sold that poor marketing is the problem. I I I think that you're going to get way more attention by focusing your efforts on internally, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
good photos, right? So poor marketing, yes. If you take crappy photos and and it makes it look bad,
Mm-hmm.
then I think that is a downside because everybody that sees it in the MLS is not going to be as attracted to your property compared to something similar in the same area. So yes, poor marketing, but not the way she's describing. She's talking about extra paid marketing for a property that goes beyond just putting the property
Right.
up for sale in the MLS. And I'm not convinced that that is for the client's good. I think that helps the agent. It
Right.
certainly helps the agent, and making other agents aware of a listing as it's coming up might line things up, make things smoother, get things sold faster for better pricing. So it's not that like not having an email list is or having an email list and leveraging that or having those connections is bad, but I think your dollars and time would be way better spent emptying out a house and making it look clean and really good inside for when people show the home,
Mm-hmm.
and being ready with good photos and video that you are going to post that everybody's going to see. But I'm 50-50 on this. I give this a
Yeah.
50% because
And also, if you're talking about luxury properties, I think it's a lot more important, right? When you're having to attract people to a multi-million-dollar home, um, that's not there's not a lot of buyers for it, and you have to send it out to different areas, and you're trying to attract
yeah,
people from other states. That's a totally different ball game, right? That's not
yep,
what I'm saying. But the average, if you're selling a home that's an average price home in your area, um, you really can't get it much more exposure than the MLS is going to give it. You know,
yeah. All right, number 9. God, I think I disagree with her here too. Kinda. This is another half and half. It says number 9, you're getting offers, but no sale. This red flag is geared more towards sellers. Getting offers is great when you're selling a home, but remember, it all comes down to the sale. If you've had several offers come in, but your agent hasn't closed the deal on any of them, that's a problem. Well, I mean, you decide if you're accepting a deal, not the agent.
right?
There are
Yeah.
lots of there. Remember going back to when she says you're the boss. I don't know. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is like kind of contradictory. There are lots of reasons why that could be happening, like your agent being a poor negotiator, having a subpar marketing plan. Um, I'm here to. This is a spoiler alert, guys. There is only one reason and one reason only your property will not sell, and that is price. There's no other. Your house has a price attached to the quality of that property at the time that it's being sold, because somebody will buy anything for the right price, and so it's mispriced. So it could be your agent's fault, because your agent is leading you down a price, but it could be your fault if you're the
Right.
quote unquote the boss, because you demanded a certain price that you're not going to get for that property. So I agree that it could be a problem
Sure.
that your agent is not pricing the property well or not leading you in the right direction with that, but that's the only factor. It's not because they're bad at negotiating. If you're getting an offer, that doesn't make any sense for the marketing. It is price. So I'm kind of half and half on this one as well.
Yeah. It simply means that they just, and I get what she's saying. Like if they can't get the agent to come up to the price that you're willing to sell it for, but I mean, if you're getting a bunch of offers and you're not getting the price you want, the problem's the price, 100%.
Absolutely. One reason and one reason alone. And yeah, you get, I had a deal like that recently where we were looking for 240, I think, on the house, and they offered like 210, and we got it up to 227, I think. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like I negotiated that because I knew it was a lowball offer though, but I also knew that the 240 was at the higher end of a spectrum of the range. Right.
Right.
So everybody's got to make their decisions. So negotiations came into it a little bit, but the primary reason you're getting offers, plural, and it's not selling is price.
Mm-hmm.
That's all there is to it. Number 10, last, you are not a priority. The math is pretty easy when it comes to an agent's commission. The more expensive the house is, the bigger the commission will be. Well, kinda. I mean, the percentage would stay the same usually, but that should never come into play the way an agent treats you. I agree. If your agent treats you as lesser because you're selling a smaller home or have a small budget, that's not okay. Here's what to watch for: lack of communication, showing up late for appointments, little patience for answering questions, or pressure to decrease your price without giving any evidence to support that recommendation. You're not a priority. I mean, I think this is very close to number one, the communication. Like if you don't feel like your priority, it's probably a communication issue.
Yeah, I don't think she titled it well, but what she's saying about it, you know, if you're being treated different than other clients just because your budget's not as big, like that is 100% a problem. Like you should get the exact same service whether you're selling $100,000 house or $1 million house. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So
100%.
I agree with what she's saying there. Maybe you're not a priority isn't the right word for it, but I get what she's saying.
Yeah. So if we're gonna score this, I'm gonna give a half point on 9, half point on 8. I'm giving no points on 6 and 7. So 5, 6, 7. I grade her at a C on this because 7 out of 10, 70%.
Yeah.
She got 7 out of 10 of these, in my opinion. What do you guys think? If you're a real estate agent and you just listen to us go through that list, drop it in the comments below or whatever.
This is 100% going to be our most controversial episode. Like so many agents who are on the more traditional side are going to be so upset with us for saying that part-time agents can be just as good as full-time agents. They're going to be raging on that.
Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. We'll find out. Maybe we'll post this one around in like real estate humor, maybe some other of the groups online, and just drop it in the comments. See if we can't get some attention on this video, because I do think it'll inspire some healthy back and forth. That would be entertaining to watch. Thanks for listening, guys. Tactical Agent Podcast. If you want to know more or consider working with us or find out what that would look like, 107project.com, TEN7project.com. Drop a like if we earned it. Drop a subscription if we earned it. Drop a follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify if we earned it. Share it up if we earned it all. So if we didn't, then that's fine. Just listen and throw us in the garbage, whatever we want. But if we entertained you or interested you or added value, then do something for us in exchange. We would appreciate it. Until next time.